Yep.
I have to
Bleep
take that one out.
one.
I have to take that one out. Dang.
I don't know. I've
That's a
heard
bad
worse.
habit. Anyway. Hi, welcome to Texas Tough Chicks. I'm Gwen and this is Viv, and we are glad you're here. If you're here for the first time, we welcome you. And if you're coming back for your poison, we're glad you're back. We're going to start off with the eclipse, and I know Viv, you've kind of lived in that area, even actually with Fredericksburg.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, this is really interesting because I've been out of town. Obviously, it's not the usual backdrop behind me. So I went to the Hill Country area, kind of on my way through to see family, and now I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And everybody's gearing up for this big, huge, we got all these eclipse watch things going on and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm going home because I'm getting totally out of this madness. And because I'm sorry, the loonies are going to come out.
Right.
And you know what this reminds me of? I keep thinking about this. Do you remember the movie Independence Day?
Oh yeah.
And all the people went up on the roof.
Yeah.
Well, and all the people were on the roof just waiting for the aliens to come, and they're partying and everything. And then all of a sudden, the alien troop comes over and goes, "Boom, you're done." And I went, "Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near that." I just don't, it's like,
no, thank you. You think the aliens might be coming on this one?
I don't want to be anywhere near it.
I'm kind of along the lines of apocalypse.
Hey, you know what?
That's the family I come from, right?
Well, and see here, yes,
would it be mercy of God if it was, kind of like some of the things that we've been doing in this country? It's like, okay, where are we heading with this? But I mean, I don't want the apocalypse, but we're definitely ready. We're kind of a prepper family. We get ready for these kind of events.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said I'm not going to be anywhere near Dallas-Fort Worth.
Right. That's where the crazy
I'm going back where I live, which is way far away from here.
Right.
Tomorrow. So I'll be way out of here.
We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see much of it up where in the Panhandle. I don't think. But my one cousin in Lubbock said they're predicting they're gonna have a pretty good shot of it.
Right, and there's, like I said, you can, if you're a Christian, you can look at a lot of stuff as being prophetic. That
right.
Interesting. Talk about all the connection with the path of the eclipse going over Jonah, Texas, and Nineveh, all these, and ending up passing over the Ark exhibit in Tennessee, and it's underneath the constellation of the whale.
That okay, I'm gonna switch.
Roll on, because
I'm gonna
takes us right
into our president who is asking God to judge us, who is because first of all, withdrawing from Israel's support, that's a no-brainer. We should not do that. I'm sorry. You want God to come down on us. That's a great way to do it.
Yes.
But also, doing the proclamation of the transgender visibility on a religious holiday for Christians.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah. One of the most sacred ones that Christians, it's basically what Christians base their faith on is the resurrection of the Messiah, right? The resurrection of Jesus. And there is like a lot of talk about this, that it's always been on March 31st. It's like always, okay, yeah. And it just happened to coincide. But do you make the proclamation? Is that the time to go out into public and make the proclamation?
No. And see, here's the thing.
Are you just foaming at God? Are you like saying, okay, God, hey, let's just see how
I had never even heard of this day, this special day.
No. Right.
And
so
they said it's been going on. I went,
hasn't gone out in the public, right? So you're right. Yeah. We've never heard of it. I didn't know it existed until this year. Right. So why this year such a big deal about it, right? Except for you just what you want. Like you're like, hey, God, I'm going to test you.
Right.
It's like, does our president think he is God? Like and then the weird thing too, with the egg hunt thing or whatever they call it, egg roll on the
egg roll. Yeah, the egg roll.
And not allowing any religious decorations. Did they allow I'm sorry, did they allow the rainbow on the eggs? Because that's religious.
Probably. Yeah.
I am just so, really, it's a religious holiday. You know what? This is the thing.
Mhm.
Same with Christmas. Okay,
Yep.
you know what? You don't believe in it, good. Don't celebrate it.
Right,
Don't
right.
hijack these religious holidays and turn it into something
Exactly.
it's not.
Exactly.
I
Right.
think that he's showing exactly who he is.
Right.
There is no
Oh, but
doubt.
hey, but you know, he is a faithful
Oh,
practicing
baloney.
Catholic.
Baloney, baloney,
And,
baloney.
and just like Chuck Schumer is a practicing Jew, and he sits there and says that they need to get rid of Netanyahu. I went, you know what? Netanyahu should come right back and say, I think we need a new Senate majority
Mm,
leader. And I think you need a new
exactly.
president of the United States. I mean, what business does he have to say anything about that
I
country?
just heard that America is funding protests over in Israel. Right? As we
Oh,
speak,
no.
America is spending money to fund protests against Netanyahu. Okay, what's the point? Really, honestly, in the middle of a war, is that a good time to change your leadership? Never,
No,
never.
never. But unfortunately, because he is the president and he speaks what I just cringe at anytime and even just they're speaking for the American people. I
Oh
went,
gosh, shut up.
no, no, the American people don't want this.
No, you are not speaking for me, and you are
No.
not speaking for at least half of the country. Stop this.
Yes.
Even
No.
on the Republican side, quit saying we speak for the people. You don't. You speak for half of the
Mm-mm.
people. I'm
They're
so
just
sick of
bad.
it.
They're just
And
bad.
then
And
we have this. I just heard this morning. I was hearing this whole thing on the CBDC, the central bank digital currency thing. They're
oh
trying to
yeah.
push through, and now we have Dipwad, like demented man, in the
Mm-hmm.
in the steering. Like he's the pilot of the ship here. But think about it. It's the same thing as the electric cars.
Mm-hmm.
If you give them all digital power, they have
Yep.
authority over you.
Yep.
They control you with a button.
They do.
If you
Yeah.
have gold, if you have paper cash, how can they control you? They can't control you. If you have availability to gas, fuel,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
can't control you. You can drive
Mm-mm.
across the country.
Right.
But if they
Right.
flip the switch on the electric
Electric.
stations
Mm-hmm.
and say, nope, this one's not available, and
Mm-mm.
it's your point B from your point A, B, C,
Right.
how are you
You're
getting
fit.
there?
Yeah. Well, and you look at all the other stuff that they're doing to us, all the bioengineered food that they're feeding everybody, and
Yep.
now that's well, I heard today that they've actually got cancer on Band-Aids. That they're
What?
yeah, yeah. It was a whole article. They
Okay,
said that
that sounds like
no, it's
conspiracy.
not.
That
It's
sounds like
not.
my family.
It
Did
was
you
a
talk to my
full
family?
no. It was
Mm-hmm.
a study. It was a study that
Oh.
they did of all.
And by the way, this whole thing, I was thinking about this because, I'm a big prepper. And yeah, I totally believe that 90% of our population would be dead because I believe we're that weak. Within a
We
year, they
are.
say 80
Yep.
and
Yep.
90% would. Okay. Okay. I believe that because we have told people they're so, weak and they can't function without
Mm-hmm.
having a cell phone taking a picture of themselves. Okay. I get
Right.
that. But on the other hand, I was thinking about this, and they keep saying, "Well, we'll go back in the dark ages. If the EMP hits and
Mm-hmm.
electricity, we'll go back to dark ages." I'm like, no, how are we going back in the dark ages? My grandmother lived without electricity.
Mm-hmm.
That's not dark ages. That's
No.
like a little over 100 years ago.
Right.
So we aren't going back. If electricity goes away, just be prepared. The
Right.
biggest threat to you is going to be other people. Get away
Right.
from other people. Make
Exactly.
sure you're prepared to take care of yourself. But guess what? We're human beings. God gave us this earth. We can
Mm-hmm.
survive on this earth. So
Right.
if you're just stupid and you're like, oh my gosh, my life is over because I can't take a selfie,
Yeah.
like you're gonna die. And you know what? Hey, I mean, I don't want you to die, but I'm like, are we better off without those people? I think so.
Well,
That's
yeah.
horrible, isn't it? But do we need all those people? I don't know. Oh
No.
no. The
No.
other thing I wanted to talk about though today was it
Yes.
was a big deal
Oh
with
yeah.
the Final Four in the NCAA women's basketball,
Mhm.
and it was LSU versus Iowa. I think Iowa State.
Yes.
It's a team that has the Caitlin Clark, and she's like a really excellent basketball player.
Yes.
And then LSU has their star. Her name's Angel Reese, and she's a great basketball player too. So the big controversy that we're hearing right now is LSU decided that they would not stand out on the court for the national anthem. I'm not really sure what country they believe they live in. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what country they think they're getting the scholarships from to go to
Yeah.
school and play basketball and travel around, on what kind of taxpayers' money they believe, who the taxpayers are and what country that is. But I just want to inform them it's America.
Right.
Like, and honestly, please move. Please go.
Right. Yeah.
Please.
If you don't
If
love it,
you
you
hate our
leave.
country so bad, just go. Just go. Just
Nothing's stopping
please,
you.
please. Oh my gosh. We don't want you. We don't need you. But they lost.
Oh
They
well.
lost to Iowa.
Mhm.
And I'm just thinking, I mean,
Yay.
there's a word that karma's a, I mean, I don't really agree with karma, but it's kind of like to reap what you sow. It's like,
Yep.
and this is the thing. This was my takeaway, because I didn't watch the game, but I saw the highlights, and then I saw the press conference afterwards, and this little, not little, she's like, I don't know, ginormous, 8 feet. I don't know how tall she is. Angel Reese, she comes on, and of course she's visibly upset, and I get that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
but what she uses is she just pulls the victim card.
Oh no, really?
She's like, oh, people are coming after me. And I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with performance in a game? She was so outperformed by this Caitlyn. Like, if you look at the statistics, it was crazy. It was almost, Caitlyn almost doubled her numbers. And it's like, you were outperformed. You're not a victim. You had a crappy game.
Right.
Your team had a crappy game. You lost.
Right.
And so she's out there, she's claiming the victim, which made me insane anyway, because I am so against the victim thing.
I hate that.
People who claim victim is their excuse. I feel like, okay, no, there's true victims. I don't.
Oh yes, yes.
Victims. But when you use it, when you can't accomplish something as your excuse, that's
yep.
I have to take that one out. I have to take that one out. Dang.
I don't know.
That's a bad habit. Anyway, so she says something to the effect that I'm being sexualized. Okay, what the hell? Do you know what that means? Like sexualized? I'm being sexualized. I'm being sexualized. What does that mean? Are you being sexually abused? What is that? I don't even know what she's talking about, right? So I watched this guy. His name is great. He's awesome. I love him. It's called Officer Tatum. If you haven't seen him on YouTube, go watch him. He's like crazy good. A very strong Black man. He's like, look at this. Let's just do a comparison of their Instagrams. And he took Caitlyn's Instagram and Angel's Instagram, and it was alarming, the difference. It was okay. So she said she was being sexualized. She almost has porn pictures on her Instagram, this Angel.
Really?
And she's all posing. She's got her butt out. She's got her gut out. She's got her boobs hanging out of everything. And she's exposing way more than any young woman should expose to the world forever. I mean, that's
and then she can't claim sexualizing because she's doing it to herself.
She's like putting herself out as a porn star. And then you go to Caitlyn's, and every single picture except for one was her shooting the basket or playing basketball. One was her with her friends in their swimming suits, not sexual, just hanging on to each other, like you do, like buddies, and hanging on the lake together. Here we are, nothing sexual about it. And that one of those pictures, and the rest were all her being an athlete. And I'm like, and he's like, how is she being sexualized? She's sexualizing herself. She's putting it out there. So yeah, we've got again a lot going on. We've got the eclipse coming up. Just it's time for everyone to really start thinking about what do you need to survive? Like what our government's not going to be there for us if something catastrophic happens. And we need to get tough. And Texans are tough. And it would be great if America just could become Texas tough, and we wouldn't have to worry about like 90% of our population dying in 24 hours,
Oh, really?
Right. So we would just encourage everyone, get Texas tough.
And stay informed. I mean, if you're just listening to the mainstream stuff or whatever, open your horizons, because there's a lot of stuff going out there that you are not aware of. And some days it overwhelms me. But I just tell myself, okay, I got to be tough. I got to be Texas tough because we are facing some really, really trying times.
And
Yeah.
that's why we're doing this, is because really you're just in on our therapy, but we're
Right,
hoping we're
right.
encouraging you that you're not alone.
Right.
And we're all going to be tough together. We're going to survive what's coming towards us, and we're going to be smart. We're going to vote smart. So we're
Yes.
glad you're here with us, and we'll see you next time.
Take care. One of our local radio guys said, he goes, "Do you remember the saying, liar, liar, pants on fire?"
Oh,
He goes,
mhm.
"I really wish that we'd start seeing some people's pants come on fire." I said,
Oh
"Yes,
my.
spontaneous combustion, man, just boom, and they're on fire every time they lie, and you just see little fires all over Washington."
Right. Well, he's
So,
lit up his pants a couple
oh
times.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.